Hello, Mount Hermon Baptist Church. We have an announcement for you that we wanted to share. There's a change to worship and a new opportunity coming on June 6th. The short of it is this, that instead of worshiping at 10:30, we'll be worshiping at 10 o'clock. And then after that, we'll have a new time of Sunday school. Both initially, during the summer, will be taking place in our worship center. Now, Susan, could you tell us a little bit about when this will begin and what it's going to look like, what to expect?
Sure. This change will begin June 6th, 2021, and we wanted to announce it now so everyone has time to mark their calendars. Children will also have an option during our post-service Sunday school, including in the summer. We're working on details now and hope to announce more information soon, so stay tuned. For adults, the Sunday school time will begin with a brief question and answer, where people can ask questions after the sermon. Then there will be a discussion time with questions and Bible study in a few small groups gathered around the worship center. June 6th also happens to be Jonathan's ordination service. So what is an ordination, you might ask? It will be a good fitting topic for our question and answer time in the worship center. I know I'm going to have some questions and taking notes. But Jonathan, I don't think that you mentioned the name of the new Sunday school class and why, while you're at it, why we have Sunday school after worship. That seems kind of backwards.
Yeah, well, first things first. The name of it is koinonia. That's the biblical Greek word for a communion or a fellowship or a partnership. And I thought that was a really fitting word for what the goal of our time together then is. So that will be koinonia. It starts at 11:11 exactly. I may have said 11 before, but we're going to give people who want to leave some time to head out and begin at 1:11 in the morning. And then there's also a couple of reasons why we might want to have our time of koinonia Sunday school after the service. The first is have a place that's easy to jump into. When you're already right here, right in the room where it happens, it's easy to just stay and see and join a Sunday school class rather than getting up before the service. Since Sunday service, Sunday worship is often the first thing that somebody attends, the first way they try to get connected with the church, we thought that making it easier to join the next step might be something really meaningful and special and just a good opportunity. The second is that it provides an opportunity to ask questions and grow. We want people to be able to ask questions about Jesus, about the Christian faith, about the Bible, and also, a little bit selfishly, gives me some instant feedback if I've been unclear about something, so that we can all improve our understanding and all improve our clarity and communication and what we're talking about, what we're gathered here to not only learn, but to experience together as we gather in worship and to grow in love and fellowship as we worship our God together. The third is that to have something to build on in the fall. Koinonia won't be the only Sunday school class forever, but it provides a good starting point. Eventually, we'll have other classes that people can depart to, whether it's in Sunday school classrooms right off the worship center or in our education wing. But it also gives an opportunity that if we dismiss children, young children, for part of service for children's church, they could just stay there if they wanted for Sunday school. And that parents could join a Sunday school class without having to worry about dropping off or anything like that. Finally, you might have noticed that Susan and I are not wearing masks right now. And so that leads to a whole other question as we think about times of transition, starting things up again, which is what in the world are we going to do about COVID-19 in the summer and as we go into the fall? It's an ongoing discussion. We're continuing to listen, we're continuing to learn, but we wanted to talk to you a little bit about that.
Well, you've noticed that Jonathan and I are not wearing masks.
Yeah.
And we both had our 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. And our last dose was 2 weeks ago. So we're excited. We're enjoying this time of not having to wear a mask, and also this weekend I was able to see family members for the first time this year, and it was very, very exciting to be with them for the whole afternoon. And since both Jonathan and I have immunity, you can see and understand us better in this video. We aren't wearing masks, but we're still wearing them on Sundays. So why are we doing that, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's 3 reasons that we might continue with our COVID-19 precautions on Sunday for the time being, and whenever we gather as a church. The first is safety, avoiding getting or giving the virus. The second is witness, that we want to be good examples of our community of following the guidelines that have been asked of us by local health officials. And the last is hospitality, being welcome to others. And even if the last one or the first one, not worrying about getting sick or getting others sick, has gone away for us, for whatever reason, whether you're just not worried about getting sick or whether you have immunity or whether you've had COVID-19 before and you think, well, I have the antibodies now, I've gotten over the sickness, the other 2 still really are there, wanting to be good examples for our community and wanting to be hospitable for others. Part of hospitality in particular is recognizing that not everyone's in the same place, not everyone's vaccinated, not everyone's going to be vaccinated, and children in particular don't even have the choice. If you're under 16 years old, it's not even an option whether you can even decide if I'm going to get the vaccine or not. And I had breakfast with a pastor just this past week who talked about a family which visited the church and said, we loved the fellowship, we loved the message, we loved the worship. We could feel really comfortable here, except I don't think we'll be back again next week because the greeters weren't wearing masks. They had no way of telling how safe they were. Their children, one of whom had conditions that made them especially vulnerable, it just didn't seem safe or right for them to return. It wasn't the most welcoming environment. We're all in different places with our level of caution, with our level of immunity, with our personal activities. Personally, I'm loving being out with friends for the first time in a long time, visiting family, going out to restaurants for the first time in a long time. And that's something that I've been enjoying. But when we're gathered all together as a church and worship, I want us to all be worshiping together without unnecessary divisions. And I know that many of you, all of us, are seeking that kind of same thing of being united in Christ without unnecessary division. So we'll be wearing masks, following our safety guidance as it persists, and we would politely ask that you do the same. One of the things that the Apostle Paul said in Galatians 5 was this: "You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you'll be destroyed by each other." So it's in the spirit of serving others, we ask you to keep up your vigilance, whatever your personal situation is, whatever you're doing and feel comfortable with in your everyday life, until the guidance changes, until we're out of this business completely. The good news is we're not going to be dealing with this forever. It's kind of astounding to me that the 19 in COVID-19 stands for 2019 and we're in 2021, but I'm optimistic about the future. We have a high percentage of people in our county who are immune. We have a lot of folks who have been realizing that the statistics are on the downward slope in our county, which is very good. And I'm optimistic. It's not something I hope to be thinking about forever. So we appreciate your consideration, not only of yourselves, but of others, and being welcoming to those families who might be considering coming back, might be wondering, is this a safe place for our young children or our families who are just now deciding whether to return back to worship? And we want to make sure to be as welcoming to them as possible.
Yes, that's true. Well, that was a lot of information, and we know that it was, but we hope that it was helpful to you. And we're excited for worship to change the time to 10, and then Koinonia is going to be at 11:01.
11:11.
11:11. Starting June 6th. Please reach out to us if you have any questions until June 6th. We'll see you at worship at 10:30 on Sunday mornings, but after June 6th, we will meet at 10 a.m. in person, or online.
Thank you. Have a great day, and God bless.